Good morning students. Today I am going to describe recovery in concurrent execution of transaction, which is very important topic in DBMS or database management system. When more than one transaction are executing simultaneously, then failure can occur. I can give you an example. Suppose you have swiped your ATM card in any ATM and trying to withdraw some money, suppose 5,000 rupees from your account, but at the end no money will come out, but the same amount of money is already deducted from your account. This is a very common problem which can occur with any one of us, but after few days we will get the amount back to our account automatically, or sometimes we have to write some complaint to the bank to get the money. So one question may arise, why money is not coming out and automatically system is deducting the money from our account, and how you can get back the same amount to the account or to our account. This is a very common question may arise. So this topic, recovery in concurrent execution of transaction, this topic can answer your question. To know that, first I want to say some concept. That means there are some memory block which helps for recovery process. Initially there are two memory block, that is redo block, another one is DB block. So what is redo block and what is DB block? Redo is the opposite term of undo, and DB block is database block. That means redo block is a block where every details of any transaction will recorded, which may useful if any transaction got some failure activity. Where DB block is a block which record all the information regarding the transaction. So those are the memory block which create in memory section. Suppose this is your hard disk or stable storage. This is your hard disk or stable storage, and there are a block which contains DB file, that means DB block, and another block is called log file. Log file is a file which contains all the information regarding your transaction. That means which transaction starts when and which transaction failure when, each and every details contains in log file. So log file is very important. If any transaction got failure, then from log file information that transaction may redo. But the log file size is very less. So when 80% of log file will full, then the internal content of log file will automatically transfer to the DB block for further execution. Now I am going to explaining this with the help of an example. Suppose this is a live transaction environment. This axis denotes time. This is t equal to tc, that means checkpoint, and this is t equal to tf, that is the failure point. So this is the checkpoint and this is for failure. Suppose initially transaction T1 starts its journey. So we have to initiate the log file entry, and though the transaction T1 starts its journey, then we have to enter the details, that is transaction T1 begin transaction. So after few time interval, transaction T2 starts its journey. So again you have to do the same. After few time, transaction T3 starts its journey. Again similarly, transaction T4 starts its journey. So initially 4 transactions are started: transaction T1, transaction T2, transaction T3 and transaction T4 with some time interval, and all the details are recorded in log file. After few times, suppose transaction T2 ends here, so you have to record this, that transaction T2 commit transaction, that means transaction T2 is completed, and transaction T1, transaction T3 and transaction T4 are going on. So you can see that at that timestamp checkpoint situation arrives, where all the active transaction okay fine, look, transaction T2 end its transaction before checkpoint, okay, but when checkpoint arrives, only transaction T1, T3 and T4 are running state. So all the running transaction information are recorded in checkpoint log file, that is T1, T3 and T4, that is checkpoint. So after that, suppose transaction T5 starts its journey. So similarly you have to write the record transaction T5 begin transaction, and after that transaction T6 also started, transaction T6 begin transaction. Now transaction T3 committed after transaction T6 starts, suppose here, so T3 commit transaction, transaction T3 completed. After that transaction T6 completed, so again T6 commit transaction, but transaction T1, T4 and T5, transaction T1, T4 and T5 are going on, but this is a timestamp where system failure occurs. System can be failed for various reasons, due to resource failure, due to power failure, etc. Suppose system failure occur or communication cut, anything can occur. So at that time when system is failure, transaction T1, T4 and T5 are running, but transaction T2, T3 and T6 completed their execution. So we can say that there is no effect for transaction T2, T3, T6 because they have completed their task before system failure. But transaction T2, T4, T5 are lost. So now we have to recover the system or recover the transaction. That means we have to perform the recovery process by which we can restore the failure transaction. Those are transaction T1, T4, T5 at their beginning stage, and from there they can start their journey for the second time. To perform the recovery process, we have to maintain some task, or we have to perform some task. So initially we have to find out the last checkpoint from the log file. So we can find out this is the checkpoint and written in log file. So next we have to initialize two set. One is undo set and another one is redo set. So one set is created, that is undo, and another set is redo. Next, initialize the undo set with the set of active transaction in the last checkpoint. So you can check that in last checkpoint the active transaction are transaction T1, T3 and T4. So write those transaction in undo set, that T1, T3 and T4. And initially in redo set there is nothing, that is 5. So next, from the last checkpoint, scan the log file downwards and find the begin transaction and add them to the undo set. So you can scan from last checkpoint to the downwards and you will find transaction T5 and T6 which are begin after checkpoint. So add them to the undo set. T1, T3, T4 previously there, and add T5 and T6. T5 and T6 to the undo set. Next, if any transaction, commit transaction is occurred, then add them to the redo set and eliminate them from undo set. So you can check that transaction T3 and T6 commits their transaction, and so we have to next add them to the redo set, that is T3 and T6, and eliminate them from undo set because they have successfully execute their transaction before system failure. So now you can see that there are 3 transactions in undo set, that is T1, T4 and T5. Actually, which transaction encountered failure? T1, T4 and T5, and T3 and T6 completed their execution before system failure. So now start reading the log file backward until the last checkpoint is encountered from the checkpoint record and start undoing the transaction of the undo list, that is T1, T3 and T4 till the TI begin transaction is encountered. That means T1, you have to restore T1 to the up to T1 begin transaction phase, T3 to here and T4 to here. That means you have to restore transaction T1 to here, T3 here and T4 here. That means you have restored or roll back the failure transaction to their beginning stage, and start reading downward till last checkpoint is encountered again, and then start redoing all the transaction TI belonging to the redo set. That means you have to redo the transaction from redo set T3, T6 because they have completed their task before system failure. So now from undo set, after system restore, T1, T3 and T4 roll back to their beginning stage. So now they can start their transaction again. So like this mechanism you can restore your system failure. So suppose when any system failure occur with any ATM, then all the transaction is recorded in log file. After day end, all log file entry will be checked automatically, and if they are encountered any type of failure, they will be restored, and that by that mechanism you will get back the deducted amount which is deducted to the ATM machine. Thank you.